Hey guys, welcome back to another flashlight review. And today we're going to look at a light that's just been released by Sofern. This is the Sofern SC13, and it's pretty much the smallest Sofern light that I own. It's an 18350 flashlight, and it's got some seriously impressive performance for its size. I do have a bunch of 18350 flashlights, and I know some of you have asked me for a good quality budget option, so this is it. This is the one. And I really like how light and compact the SC13 is. You could fit it in your coin pockets, pretty much anywhere. And the Fresnel lens as well. This is something interesting. These concentric circles reduces the length of the light down significantly, even more than a standard TIR lens. But as you see later, it still manages to achieve 200 plus meters of throw, which is super impressive. Anyway, this is what you get in the box. You basically get the light. Sofern include an 18350 cell, 1100 milliamp Sofern cell. You also get a couple of other accessories, some basic stuff, so some spare O-rings, lanyard. Also get a USB-C charging cable. I have so many of these things. But yeah, the great thing about Sofern is that they pretty much include everything in the box, and it's very beginners friendly. The SC31 with a few other lights that I have here, and the first one that really came to mind was the Armitech C1 Prime C1 Pro, and I thought this was a small light, but the Sofern SC31 just manages to beat it by a few millimeters, and I think that's due to that Fresnel lens in there. It just manages to maintain a slightly smaller profile. Here we have it next to the Sofern SC18 and the SC32. It's pretty much half the size. All right, so here's a little close-up of the SC13, and really good construction, especially for this price range. I don't see any nicks or inconsistent areas on the finish of the light at all. And you've got this nice matte black anodizing. This is something that I've really been liking about the newer Sofern lights, not using this this sort of glossy anodizing you see just on the SC18 next to it. Okay, so it's more of like this matte black. I find it just looks cleaner, and I don't know, I also find it to be grippier as well. Something to do with the matte black finish on a lot of these lights. They just tend to be grippier. Low key sort of design. There's no funny cutouts. You just got these general little cutouts here on the side for the knurling. Even on the tail cap, real basic. I like that. You also got a magnet in the tail, which is good. So for those of you who need to work hands-free, have it stuck to the side of a table or something like that, or overhead, there's no issues there. It's able to hold up the entire light. And I also like that Sofern have included this deep carry clip. You know, I love deep carry clips. Quite solid, easy to remove as well if you need to. The light is operated by a single button here on the side. Okay, and this was something that I was a little bit concerned about when I first got it. I thought to myself, maybe it's the same one as the SC18. It looks pretty much the same, right? But good thing is that it does require a little bit of extra force to activate. I'm glad that Sofern took that advice, because I did find that, yeah, the SC18, the button's a little bit too mushy, easily to sort of activate that light in your pocket. But yeah, the SC13, you definitely need to give it a firm press to activate. I like that upgrade. The button also functions as a battery indicator. Okay, you see, it just lights up when you press the button. It goes red, flashy red, as the battery reduces in voltage. And here in the top, you can see you've got that Fresnel lens in there with the SST40 behind it. It's an interesting lens design, series of these concentric circles. I wasn't able to unscrew the bezel by hand. It looks like I'm not sure how to do it, but it's just this little lip here that I'm just not able to get enough grip on it to unscrew it. We've also got USB-C charging. Again, very beginners friendly. So I'll just go through the UI, show you how it works. Very simple UI, which I love in EDC flashlights. And basically you press and hold from off to get into moonlight mode. Okay, very basic. Press again to turn off. To lock the light, press the button 3 times. Okay, and whenever you press, it's just going to flash again. Press 3 times again to unlock. Okay, now in order to turn on the light and go to memory mode, you just switch it on. Just press the button once when it's unlocked. So you can have it on this mode, say like the second mode, turn it off, turn it on again, still remembers the second mode or the medium mode, which is good. And in order to change modes, you just press and hold. So once the light is on, press and hold, cycles between 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so low, medium, high. Double press for turbo and double press again for strobe. And that's pretty much it. I ran a bunch of ceiling bounce tests, and you can see here on the turbo mode, it lasts up to 1 minute before stepping down to just over 20%. 1 minute on turbo is pretty impressive for a little flashlight like this. Didn't get overly hot as well. And here's another ceiling bounce test that I ran just on the high mode. Starts out at 100, and you can see over time it dips to just around 80% of the output by the 30-minute mark. So definitely has a FET driver in there. Here are a bunch of tests I ran with my Opal Lightmaster Pro, and the most impressive thing I found about this light is that it throws 214 meters. Bear in mind these are switch on figures, but that's so impressive for a little light like this, and really gives some promise to this Fresnel lens design. And yeah, something I haven't seen in any other flashlight before besides Sofern. I've not seen other manufacturers use it. Maybe they'll start taking it up at some stage. But the CRI was basically between 64 and, interestingly, on the first step, 87. It might have been a mismeasurement or something like that. But yeah, I wouldn't take that into account too much. I would say more around the 60s. So it's not really going to be a very good light for recognizing color. It's more for visibility. CCT range from 4,100 all the way up to 5,400K. Like I mentioned, the SC13 produces a surprisingly throwy beam, and I like that there's decent amounts of flood too, especially on the lower modes. The Fresnel lens just, yeah, I think it distributes the light a little bit more evenly than a normal TIR lens, but it depends on the TIR lens and the angle of the lens as well. You can get sort of wide angle ones that produce more of a floody beam. I didn't notice any artifacts in the beam as well, so no ringiness, which was good. Some considerations to be aware of. Got the 18350 cell in here, so lower battery capacity, but it's good to know that the SST40 is still very efficient on those lower modes and produces significant amounts of light. Second consideration is, yeah, the light does have an FET driver in there, so you do notice a drop in output as the battery voltage drops, and it also does step down quite heavily when you're in the turbo mode. Overall, if you are looking for a great value EDC flashlight, you know, a small one like this, the Sofern SC31 is an absolute steal. Comes with everything you need if you're a beginner, enthusiast, packs a serious punch for its size, and yeah, just fits in your pocket, any pocket, in your shirt pocket, in your coin pocket. And yeah, it's good for those, especially if you find 18650 lights a bit cumbersome, too large to carry around. This will make an excellent keychain light too. You can just stick it on, you know, a little lanyard hole here as well. You can just stick that on, put that on a key ring easily. So if you're interested in this light, I've left a link in the description. If you have questions as well, just let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you found the video helpful, do me a favor, click the like button on the video and share it with a friend. It really helps get my video out to more people and doesn't cost you a cent. Finally, if you want to see more flashlight reviews and the latest flashlight news, then make sure you subscribe. Sofern SC13, and this is on the moonlight mode. Can't see anything. Let's skip to low. Nothing much, sort of. For me, I can see, but on the camera it's quite difficult. Maybe 3 or so meters. Medium and high. Okay, now we're talking. And the high mode does hold for a considerable period of time. It does step down quite slowly, as you've seen in the runtime tests, but very slowly. So I would consider this almost a kind of sustainable mode. Obviously there's a FET driver here, so it's gonna step down as the battery and as the battery starts to lower in charge, you're gonna get less brightness as well. But double click and look at that, that's turbo. Absolutely incredible for a little light like this, to think that it's able to reach 200 meters. It just lights up this entire golf course. Double click again. Doesn't quite get the trees at the back. No, it does, it tints them. It's just difficult for me to actually capture that on camera. There's also a little bit of dust and stuff in the air. That does influence the throw figures as well. Though I measure 200 meters, should be able to hit those trees. Only just. And it is, look, it is tinting them, that's for sure. But yeah, not really able to see that on camera. Let me just go for a quick walk so you can see the beam profile. The good thing is that you can keep reactivating that turbo, but it does get hot. I mean, it's really hard for me to even hold the thing now because I've just reactivated that turbo so many times. But excellent performance. Such a little light. SoFone SC13.